Welcome back. This is the part of our video series. We're going to see how to link HTML form to the PHP. So we shall come here. We don't really need to work with CSS. So in our form here, there are some attributes we have to add. For example, action. Action tells HTML where to send the data. So we want to send our data to the insert.php, where it will be processed. Okay, then we have to identify the method or protocol of sending the data. So we have two methods. One is the get, another one is the post. So when you use get like this, and you try to submit data, for example, refresh, you want to submit the data you want to provide. So data, when you click, the data is sent to the browser URL, which is not security practice. So also we have to add our directory private to route very well, direct very well to the inside. So we come back here and try insert.php, not refresh. So touch save, refresh, enter some information. So this data will be sent to insert.php, but using the URL. Yes, yeah, which is practically inside somehow. Yeah, so that exposes our sensitive data. So we don't want that. We shall use post, which silently sends the data to the PHP. So I'll try to refresh. So we enter data again here, and you click data is sent to PHP silently, does not make a noise. So let us try to see whether our PHP is working. We'll go inside this instance, our PHP tags, and then say echo. Yes, PHP is up and running. Save. I go back, refresh, click. Yes, PHP is up and running, which means we go to the next step. Okay, so delete this. Now, in our configuration file here, we have to establish a database connection. So let us do that using VS Code. So we shall come back here in private config, try to establish a database connection. So here we shall create PHP tags as usual. PHP that closing. Come here to establish a database connection. We need only 4 variables. We need the host, the database host, and point host, which is localhost, and then we shall need the user, shall call it root. Then we need password, which is also string. If you don't have a password, if you're using exam, mostly by default as no password, you leave it as blank like that. If you have a put, then we shall need a database name. Okay, it has to be name. All right. So we shall say that one is database name. We created our database name in the first video, which was TU up. Then terminate. Okay. So after that, we shall need another 50 variable to establish connection. Say connection is equal to my SQLi. Next, here we shall not use OOP or object-oriented programming concepts for this stage, but later on we shall apply them. So we will need to supply this as parameters, user, password, and the database name, just like that. Looks like that. Okay, now we have a link to the database connection. So let us test to see if that connection is working. We shall see if not connection. We shall try to shout and say echo connection refused. That, and if yes, we shall continue our operations. For example, we shall say echo connection established. Like that. And let us test that first. This one should disappear a bit. Minimize. Yes, so we should have this first. So instead of insert, we shall say config.php. So it says connection is established because the database is up and running. Yeah, so next thing, after having our connection well established, we shall go to our file system and say now we want to go to insert.php and shall import our connection here. Shall import our connection from config.php and we'll use it for our database operations. So now let us try to run insert.php. Still we have connection established. Now we no longer need that message. The database is not working, we shall get an error. If not, we shall continue with our operations. So now we want to insert data in the database using PHP. Let's use it. Let's use this. Okay. So we shall need the SQL query. SQL query. We need a variable of SQL insert variable to store our query that we shall use execute when inserting data. So we shall say insert into users, which is the table. In users, we shall insert our data into columns like, we put the columns in the brackets, we say first name, because you get the variables from the database. Okay, these are our variables. I'll tap here and you see all the columns here. So let me copy them and put them somewhere here. So we need to insert into first name. We shall as well insert into middle name. We shall as well insert into last name, like that. We shall also insert into email, like that. We shall as well insert into the username, but we shall have the username first, and then the email next, and lastly, the password. Okay, now we can delete this, we don't need that. So after having all those constraints, and now we need the values to insert the values like that. So the values also in brackets. For example, someone would want to insert as the first name as ABC, second name as EFD, then the last name as HIJ, then username as ABC1, and then email as abc@tu.c. Okay, and then that someone would wish to insert a password as abc123. Or password pass123. Perfect. All right, we are good to go. Now, continue on our step on how to insert our data. So we shall need a MySQLi. Insert MySQL query. MySQLi query. this. So this function is so much helpful in running database operations in procedural PHP program. So here we shall say if my SQL query, this one takes two parameters. The first parameter is connection here, the connection we're using, and then the SQL statement. That. Another thing, this line of code here means we are trying to import these codes and we paste them here during runtime. So that's why you can be able to access the connection variable, which is defined in that file of configurations. So here we shall say therefore data from user account created that. Otherwise we shall say echo error file created user account like this. So let us test that. So we should refresh. Have line 6. Yeah, says no. Have line 6. It says pass error, syntax error unexpected, ABC on line 6. Yes, so when you look here, our string is inside the double quotations. But because to insert data we have used double quotations, this leads to a conflict. Yes, the PHP thinks that this string ends there, and then another substring ends here, so we don't know this one. So if you have used double outside, try to use single inside like that to avoid confusion. That one will help us to avoid fusing PHP that we have a lot of strings that are not properly. Right. Okay, that's like that. And finally, like this. Save and refresh. Unclosed on line 10, on line 13 in Salad PHP, line 10. Line 10, line 13. Yes, this one should be inside. Right, so user account created successfully. When we check here in MySQL, run select, shall see the user is being created with the timestamp and given ID number 1. The other details similar as we said. So let us meet in another video where we will see when we save data dynamically into the database.